Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Futon Talks.
Ooh.
Do you know what this episode's about?
No.
You don't. That's right, because I'm opening this one. This episode is on a very special movie. It's on Chris's favorite movie of all time, his favorite Nolan movie at the very least. We're talking about Inception. We're going deep. We're going through the layers, okay? We're going to get all the way to Playdead's game Limbo. I'm excited. I know Chris is excited. I know Christopher Nolan, our second patron, is excited. And I'm excited to be here with you, man. I'm excited to talk about this movie because I think we might have disparate opinions, as it were.
Possibly.
Our knees may rub, but our brains do not.
They don't.
But tell me how you've been, man, before we get in on the game and before we introduce our sponsor, Liquid Death.
Back at it again. Just for you.
That's right. Don't just quench your thirst. Toilet. Anyway, Chris, how have you been doing?
I've been doing swell. I just got off work. Took a shower, and now I'm here back in my house. Back in our studio.
That's right.
Futon Talks headquarters.
Oh, baby. FTHQ.
Yes.
With our LD. Sorry.
And we're talking about CN, you know?
That's right, TR.
CN's eye.
CN's eye.
I don't know. I'm here.
Speaking of CN's eye, what's your famous CSI variety? I like CSI Miami. Have you ever watched CSI?
No.
You've never watched CSI?
Never.
Your mother was not Jamie.
No, she was not.
My mom loves CSI. Or she used to love CSI. It was like when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "You're 8. Let's stay up all night and watch CSI together." I just remember Horatio. That's the main character's name in CSI. Or the main detective in Miami. It has that one song by The Who where they scream in it. And he takes off his sunglasses and he's like, "Yay! Ba-da-da."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you need to watch it.
Okay.
That's what we're doing next week is CSI Miami seasons 1
The only
to 5.
show I've seen that's vaguely like that is Law and Order. I don't know which one it was or what. I know nothing about Law and Order. There was only one episode. And it started with a dead prostitute in a dumpster. And at that point, I turned it off.
That's how they all start. That's how all the stories in the city start. You know that's the truth.
It's like, seriously, like there's just a dead person by a trash can on the street.
That's right, man.
Took him like 5 days to find her.
That's city life. That's the streets.
Yeah, I'm far away from that.
That's right. We're in Chico, California, where we don't deal with any death. The only death we deal with is
the environment.
Death.
Oh.
No. Yeah, the death of the environment. The forest fires have been not good.
No.
But I'm sorry your life's been bad.
No, it's fine. How's your morning been?
It's been good. I didn't work today, which was nice. But it's good. I started working with a guy who does renovations. His name is Dan.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really nice guy. But he does anything from like replacing tile floors to painting to like installing conduits and stuff, like just electrical for different appliances. And I dug a bunch of trenches the other day so that we could put electrical and water into someone's backyard. And
does he listen to the show?
He's old. He won't listen to it.
Well, if he
Dan's like 65. I don't think he understands.
That's our demographic.
That's true. That's Christopher
Men
Nolan.
over 60.
Men over 60 and women under 30. No. But yeah. I've been suffering. But it's good.
It's good suffering.
I like doing the construction
You're
stuff.
learning.
So I'm learning.
You're hurting yourself.
I'm bruised all along here. I've got blisters everywhere, but it's like in a couple weeks it'll be fine. So
yeah, you'll be fine.
But
get used to it.
It's been a good week. I got to work. I got to actually do something with my life. My wife started working, so I'm doing really good.
Good.
Things could not be better than they are.
Especially after watching Inception.
Yes. How do you feel? Okay, I want your 3 words.
Style over substance.
You're so stupid. You're the dumbest man alive. All right. My words. I can't get over it. My words are Chris is hipster. Masterful, subtle, and emotional. Those are my words.
Wow. Those are some strong words.
Your words are style over substance.
Yeah.
I don't think you get this movie.
Maybe I don't.
I think you're so focused on hating this movie that you can't get why it's a good movie. So tell me, where did your vendetta begin?
I never had a vendetta.
That's a lie. You've been telling me how much you dislike this movie for years. For a decade.
I just remember watching this movie when it came out. We got it on DVD. I own the movie. So there's no disputing that.
Because you went out and bought this movie?
No.
Exactly.
I don't know who bought this movie or why.
You also own the collector's edition of Catherine Full Body and about a quadrillion Dragon Ball statues.
I stand by those.
I know you do.
I don't know, man. This movie, nothing could have prepared me to rewatch this movie. It's something. I don't want to say it's a bad movie, because it's not a bad movie. It's just the dud that Christopher Nolan put out in between the Batman movies. I think it's overcomplicated. I can't
roll my eyes enough at you.
I think I was rolling my eyes throughout the movie.
You can't call a Christopher Nolan movie overcomplicated and then say you like Tenet.
No. So it's not overcomplicated, like I didn't understand it. I think he was trying to complicate it so much to the point where it's just it's ridiculous.
Can we even do this podcast?
Maybe not. Maybe this will be the shortest Futon Talks.
I disagree with you so heartily.
Okay. So you've all seen Inception. If you're gonna see it, you've seen it. I don't think we really.
It's been on Netflix for 5 years. Everyone's seen, and Inception is also one of those films that everyone has watched.
Apparently,
it's probably the most mainstream Nolan movie besides The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's Batman. So
yeah,
that's
this was
totally different.
For me, this is the movie that is when anyone brings up Nolan, it's Inception. It's the first one they bring up. I know people will say Memento was the first movie to get him on the map, but Inception is what brought him to that other level past Batman.
Yeah,
where everyone was dude, have you seen Inception?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
That's when he became a household name.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, to be honest with you, to be frank,
I'm glad you're not being Chris.
Before we get into the nitpicky stuff, because it is pretty nitpicky with this.
Yeah. I mean,
I have to be with this movie.
I think with any Nolan film, there's going to be tons of little plot holes.
Yeah.
Because they're so not expansive. Expansive isn't the right word, but they're fanciful in a way. They're wild, ridiculous ideas that Christopher got while he was in the bathtub or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're not grounded in reality as much as
no.
And you can say that for Batman too. I mean, his Batman films are literally insane. So
yeah. But with this movie, it really, the beginning is my main beef with the movie so far. I think the beginning is just, to be honest with you, stupid.
The beginning when they're in the dream, in Saito's dream.
Yeah. And it's just, it's a ridiculous back and forth of, we're in a dream. It's no, you're in my dream. It's no, you're in my dream, which is in your dream, in another dream. It's they go back and forth for 5 minutes about whose dream we're in. It's just stupid.
I think it's genius.
But it's a good idea. I don't know if the cast was right. I don't know if I honestly believe there's way too much action. It's ridiculous, actually. And there's too much exposition. It's not. There's like there's. This might be the most unbalanced movie I've ever seen, and that's funny because the whole thing is about balance at the end.
My eyes.
I like the end of the movie though.
No.
The end of the movie is really good.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the message.
you like it?
Yeah, I actually love the ending.
I'm glad.
It's just that beginning, and then honestly,
that whole middle portion, the hour. I understand. I don't want to just.
I think
what
they went about this movie the wrong way.
Interesting.
Which is weird to say because like this is Nolan's creation, but we've talked about it before where Nolan gets in his own way too much, and I think to me this is a parody of Nolan. This is like Nolan to the max. This is just like let's crank everything to 11 in Nolan's brain.
I don't know. I thought this movie was delicate, if anything.
Delicate.
Like,
did you just use the word delicate for Inception?
I think that this movie is beautifully crafted. I think it all makes sense. All the layers line up like really well, and like, I think it is anything but unbalanced. I mean, I think the whole point is everything is balanced. And I think he really accomplishes that with the final film. But I think you and I are just going to disagree. I think we have radically different opinions. I mean, I think this is probably contesting for my favorite Nolan film. I just think he does such a good job. And I think the cast is literally perfect. I would never want to see anyone but DiCaprio playing Cobb. DiCaprio is perfect in this movie. Mal is perfect in this movie. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays his part really well. I like Tom Hardy in it, but he doesn't have a mask, so he sucks. Michael Caine is playing Michael Caine. You know, Ellen or Elliot Page, I think that they do a fine job in their role. So on and so forth. I just don't think Yosef, is he even really a character? I think that the casting is nigh on perfect, especially Mal and Cobb. I think they're perfect, and they're the center of this movie. So, and then Saito, you know, can you pronounce Saito's actor's name for me?
Watanabe?
That's right.
I wasn't going to make that mistake.
I saw that. I was looking at it on the way here. I was like, Watanabe. But
Watanabe.
I thought Saito was great. I think Cillian Murphy is fantastic. I hear people say Killian Murphy. I don't feel like that can be a person's name.
No, it's Cillian.
It's Cillian, right? Because that's an actual name. Okay.
Killian? Oh, maybe.
Maybe, but it's a C. And a CI makes
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, I think Cillian Murphy's great, but he's also one of my favorite actors.
Philippa can be a word or a name. So can Killian.
I think that Christopher Nolan does have a problem with names. Philippa, Cobb.
Dom Cobb might be the stupidest name I've ever heard.
It's a pretty bad name. I think that Cobb in Sanskrit means dreams. And so he's trying to go for these dumb meanings. Like, because Ariadne is the name of the chick in The Maze with the Minotaur. And it doesn't make it okay.
Ariadne is a bad
Ariadne is a stupid name. But yeah, so. I don't know. I found this movie to be very compelling. A movie that you can't stop watching. I thought it had a good amount of action. And I thought the exposition, for the most part, was very clever and not hamstrung. There are parts where it's like, oh yeah, she's the audience, you know, Ariadne. And yeah, she's just asking questions and being told. But they teach you a lot of things about the world of Inception without saying it to you. Like when they talk about pain and how pain works and how death works. Like he shoots Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the head and he wakes up. You learn, oh, if you die, you just wake up. And then with, it's just all tied together really well. Like when he's teaching Ariadne about building the worlds and the dreams, instead of him just saying before they go in, like, oh, you can't build places from real life because if you do, something bad will happen. Like she does it and then you see the consequence, right? I find it to be really well done. And the exposition is not just said to you. Instead of saying, or instead of teaching, instead of telling you, he shows you for 99% of the exposition. There are parts where it's really obvious where he's just telling, Ariadne things, but I would say for the most part, they do a really good job of just letting the world speak for itself, and I think that that's a magic that Christopher Nolan really captures. And it's impressive that he's able to teach you so much about this world that he just made up without saying a whole lot about it. I just found it to be really well directed. So,
very interesting. I feel like there could have just been better ways to go about this movie.
What?
I feel like there has to be, because for me, I feel the opposite of everything you just said, where I feel like I was being talked to too much, to the point where I think that's once Saito gets shot. And all, like, I think Cobb says something about limbo, like he's gonna be in limbo, and Ariadne is like, limbo, what's that? And then behind her is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's like, limbo, unconstructed subconsciousness. It's like, what? It's like, it's so fast paced. Like, how would she understand what that means, and how would the audience understand what you mean?
But do you not understand what that means?
Like, I do, yeah. But like, to just say it is just so weird.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
If you were in that situation and someone said, "What's limbo?" Would you just be like, "Can't explain"?
I would be like, "How does that even work then? How do you know?"
Well, it's 2 layers into a dream. Why would you not believe them? Like, would you just be like, "Hey, that's too far. No such thing as
I don't know.
like,
I don't know, man.
Is that a step too far for you? Unconstructed subconscious?
I guess so.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't like this movie. I tried liking it too.
Why do you not like it?
I tried liking it. Like I said, like, there's just little parts that are keeping me from really liking it. The ending is good, and once they're in like the second dream, it's like, and watching how all those connect and they're on top of each other, and that is fun to watch. It was fun.
It's fun.
Part of me was just a little weirded out that they were going to like a Metal Gear Solid base.
Yeet.
At the end. And Tom Hardy's doing like ski moves and doing backflips while shooting people.
Heck yeah, he is.
Maybe you're thrown into the movie too fast from the very beginning. There's no real explanation of, like, it took me a while to figure out, like, oh, going into people's dreams is normal in this world.
Normal. I don't think it's a thing most people do. I think it's a very specialized thing. Like, very few people do it.
For rich people?
I think kind of for rich people, but more like for specially trained people. Because it was like a military thing at first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I like everything with him and his wife, for the most part. I laughed when Ellen Page got stabbed by her in the one dream.
It's a little spooky.
And then I also laughed when she killed herself.
You would. I think that's a really good scene. I think that
it's just Leonardo DiCaprio's reaction was just funny.
I thought it was incredible. I think he's great. I think that scene specifically, I think Leo's reaction is like top notch. If Chris's wife jumped off a building, he'd just be like, "Oh, darn it." He wouldn't cry. He wouldn't like be sad. I thought he portrayed it very well. If anything, that stuck out to me as really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I laughed.
You just are mean. You're just a mean little hipster boy that doesn't want to like things that are popular.
It's not true, though.
This movie was too popular.
I love popular things.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
I don't believe you.
Look around the room.
Oh yeah, Habroxia 2. That's the most critically acclaimed game of all time. You got Nemesis hiding behind you because you don't like him because Resident Evil 3 sucks. And then what? You got Days Gone in the middle of everything, a game that only like the most hardcore of Days Gone fans. Like, even Ben Studios doesn't like Days Gone. I'm just saying, man. Anyways, you're a little bit of a hipster. If something's really popular, you tend to, unless you like get in on the ground floor.
I was like 10 when this came out.
You've been that way since day one. I don't know, man. I think this movie is
maybe
like
there's some
unequivocally
deep
good.
like memory I'm repressing that about this movie.
This is your dream thing. This is that problem that you have with dreams.
Oh, you're right.
What is there to say about this movie that we can't just be mad at each other?
I think one of the things that really bothers me is how it's cut.
I think it's kind of...
And no, it's not like how the movie is laid out as a film, but I don't know. I was noticing a lot of weird cut. I don't know. Like, obviously they were doing like other takes. I feel like a lot of some of the scenes weren't fully connecting with each other.
But that's like part of the theme of dreams. Remember, isn't that like a line he says several times, that you know it's a dream because you end up there and you don't even know where you were before that? That's like, but I'm saying like, and I know that sounds like cheesy and stupid, but like that's a theme in the movie.
Yeah.
That's why the movie starts that way.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up, you don't have any idea where he was, and then it's a theme that carries throughout the entire thing. It's one of the ways you can tell when it's a dream and when it's not a dream, is when it's cut like that and you see, oh, where are we? How did we get here? And it's also like an allegory for movies.
Mm-hmm.
That like movies are like a dream, you know? Like, you don't question it. The cut happens and now you're in a new place and you don't even question it because it's a movie. It's like that scene where they're at the cafe and he says that for the first time. You don't question that they're in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they were like just at a cafe. But like, that's the point. I don't know. I just...
exploding.
And then everything starts exploding. I don't know. It's just great. It's really good. I wish I had specific things to say. I mean, I really like the beginning. I think the beginning's really, really well done for setting up the world and for teaching you how the dreams work. And I think it's really cool, like showing you how the architect's job works. When he like gets the carpet wrong. I think that's a really cool twist. It's like, I know it's not real because this isn't my carpet. It's like, oh, frick.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the details and like what everyone's job is and what they have to do. And I think Cobb is a really interesting, damaged character that Leo portrays really well. I think the action sequences are really good. Everyone loves the hallway scene. I think it's just as good as people say it is. I think it's great. I don't know. It's just a great movie. I really like Cillian Murphy and I love his arc.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, he's always great.
And Tom Hardy is probably actually my least favorite part. I think he's fine. He's just playing some...
I hate the bickering between him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I'm not a huge fan. It's probably my least favorite part of the movie, but it's still fine.
Like when they're bantering, it is my least favorite part for sure.
I don't love it. It's like, I don't like Tom Hardy being that way. I like him much more in dramatic roles. I don't like him for comedy relief.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, just stop. Just kidding. But, you know what I mean?
Stop acting.
I feel like he's much better in a dramatic sense, at least personally. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's fine. I think people are overhyped about him. I think he's fine.
Never liked him as an actor.
He looks nice.
He always looks the same and plays the same person.
It's like his face doesn't change.
It's like he always has grease in his hair.
That is true. He'd play a good kid in The Outsiders.
No,
Christopher Walken.
Okay.
You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, it's a book as well. It's all right.
Well, I don't read, so don't bring up books.
I mean, that book is below a 18-year-old reading level, so I don't read it. It's not a historical textbook. But yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's fine. I think he's good for the role. I don't know, man. My heart's just broken. I was hoping that your heart would change.
I really like the whole story and plot between him and his wife.
Yeah.
And how they dream together and she gets like addicted to it, like a drug almost, to the point where she doesn't know what's real and what isn't. And I liked that he thought in order to bring her back to reality, he had to plant something in her head to question reality itself in the dream. But then when she comes back out of it and she's back into reality, she questions reality itself. And that's why she kills herself. I thought that was awesome. And I wish the movie was more about that and less about action heist.
Well, I think that is what the movie's about for Cobb.
Yeah, but there's so much less of it.
I guess, but like, isn't the whole movie like an exercise in wondering what's real and what's not?
No.
Like, for me as the viewer, that is the movie.
I felt like I knew exactly what was fake and what wasn't.
Whatever you say.
Mr.
I'm so confused in the beginning, but...
I wasn't confused in the beginning. It was more like, this is ridiculous.
It was not ridiculous. There were just two dreams.
I thought it was ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous
to throw the audience into that immediately. And like, he sees this woman and he walks up to her and it's like, why are you walking up to her? Obviously, she's a bad person. Like, Leo knows, don't do this. Even Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like, okay, let's get out of here. And he goes and walks to her. And then the next scene, she has a gun on him. For me, at least as a viewer, to start with that, it was like, okay, now we're going in like 1,000 different directions here.
I don't think that at all. That is, Leo knows this person.
How many times have you seen this movie?
Like 3, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, just think about it. Like, if Bond was in that situation, he would definitely have approached the femme fatale. He would not be like, oh, she has a gun.
That's another thing.
You know what I mean? This is pretty much a Bond movie. And it's a really good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think if it was not Inception and that happened, it would have been fine. It would have been really normal because the hero's confident. Especially in this case, Cobb, it's his projection. It's his subconscious. Like, he thinks he can handle it. That's like half the movie is he's trying to handle things and he can't do it. Partially because he doesn't understand what's real and what isn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's good. And I think it's really, I don't know. Just find everything about it really interesting and well done. So
it's wild to me. This movie isn't bad. It's a good movie. I guess it's just not for me. I think it goes too far and it's too Nolan for me. Which is weird to say because I love Nolan, but I think it's just,
I don't know.
It feels like a Nolan parody.
If anything's a Nolan parody, it's Tenet. There's not a film more ridiculous than Tenet.
Tenet is ridiculous, but it's also funny.
But it like throws you in harder than any movie has ever thrown anyone into anything. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like if you have these problems with Inception, you should hate Tenet.
I mean, there's other things I like about that movie. Like, I like how it's shot, and I like the cinematography and stuff.
You don't like the cinematography in this movie? You don't think it's beautiful?
I do not like the cinematography in this movie.
Like, come on.
The coolest scene I saw was when Leo's in the bathroom with Cillian Murphy. Like, I thought that was the neatest shot. That was the only one that stood out to me.
You're a fool.
I guess I am.
I think it's a great movie, but...
It's a fine movie.
It's a great movie. It's fantastic. It's definitely one of Nolan's best movies.
It's fine.
It's really good. I just don't get how you don't like it.
Maybe it's like a Plague Tale for me.
Maybe you just have bad taste this month. I don't know.
I guess so.
I don't know what's happening.
Just so many little things get on my nerves that I keep noticing.
Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face.
Yeah.
This movie's bad. Oh, I get it though. I do get it. I get it.
Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Is it already time for fast ones?
I guess. Like, I don't know. What else is
you
there?
writing any notes down?
Yeah, but he'll just be like, I hate that. So let me look at my notes. First thing, dream within a dream set piece in the beginning is phenomenal and does a great job of setting up the world. Chris disagrees. I love how they teach you the rules of the world subtly. Chris disagrees. And I wrote about how the death and pain works and the carpet and how architects work and what their roles are. I think it teaches you all of that without saying anything. I thought it was really good foreshadowing with Leo having performed Inception and talking about it with Ariadne. I think they do a good job of like hiding that for a long time, exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Notes about how time works. And then the bridge thing, I thought that was good. And teaching him, and that's a good way to teach about real life and dreams and totems. I thought they taught that pretty well, where you don't really realize you're being taught something. It's just showing you how the world works. I thought we could talk about a thought experiment, but we don't have to. But
what? Tell me.
It's the pleasure machine. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I don't think so.
So
Maybe.
It's thought experiments are just things in philosophy where you pretty much all agree to a certain set of conditions, and then you try to think of what the moral or the right or the most good thing to do in that situation would be. One that's really famous is called the trolley thought experiment. And that's where there's a trolley car, you're in control of it, and it can go one way or it can go another way. And one way has 5 guys, and one way has only 1. What do you do? Do you pull it so it hits 1, or do you hold it? Anyway, and there's rules, like you can't derail the train.
Sure, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And
you have to make a choice.
Exactly, and that's a thought experiment. Anyway, so another thought experiment is called the pleasure machine. And that's the idea, it kind of comes from hedonic calculus, which is a philosophical idea that life is as good as it feels, essentially. So it's all about just gaining pleasure, or hedons. It's like a unit of pleasure that they made up, because hedonism, the search for pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so hedonic calculus is the idea that the more hedons you accumulate, the better your life is, the more worth living it is. That's the good life, right? And, ethical philosophy is all about the good life. What is the good life? Anyways, so a pleasure machine is a thought experiment which involves hedonic calculus, because it proposes if there were a machine that were you to enter it, it could provide you with infinite hedons. Would you get into the machine? Essentially. And it is, the point of the experiment is pretty much to ascertain whether there's more to life than hedons. Because if there's more to life than hedons, you won't get in the machine. But if life is really just about getting pleasure, you'll get into the machine. Anyways, so the point of the thought experiment...
So the pleasure machine is the dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like those guys who are all drugged up in Yusuf's shop.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a pleasure machine. So this entire movie is rooted in that idea.
Okay.
But yeah, I was going to explain that and then talk to you about it.
I like that.
What do you think? Would you get in the pleasure machine?
No.
Sorry, I wouldn't either.
I'm not a fan of thinking.
Pleasure. Sorry.
Pleasure's my least favorite thing in the world.
And pleasure can be anything. Like, pleasure has this weird connotation, but in ethical speak, all pleasure means is happiness.
Yeah.
So that could be spending time with family.
I have a log in my backyard that I shove my face into.
It's my pleasure.
No, I'm not a fan of thinking that you need to use something or to have something to make things better. So, I don't think I need to, I don't need to take drugs or, drink to have, it's always like, I don't need to drink to have a good time.
Yeah.
I
don't need Inception to have a good time.
I love, what's the word? I love the feeling of soberness. I love just pure feeling. And feeling that I can kind of articulate in my head, know exactly what it is, where it's coming from. Yeah, pretty much.
I like that.
What about you? I think you'll have the same answer.
I mean, I agree. I And I think there's something to be said for reality and for what's real and for what's shared.
Appreciating things too.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, it's just, if you're in the machine, then the people you're sharing it with aren't real. Mm-hmm. And I think that's another big theme in the movie.
Isn't real.
Yeah, and nothing actually happens, right? Because I think that if you were to, build an empire and work hard for it in the pleasure machine, it wouldn't mean anything, because there'd be no one there to benefit from it, and there'd be no one there to reap the rewards of your sacrifice, Mm-hmm. And I think that's a main theme in the movie as well, that reality isn't just about what's real, it's about the people you're real with, right? Because that's half of what makes Mal and Cobb's story so compelling, is that they're together, but neither party is on the same page as to what reality is. So they never share reality.
Yeah.
Right? When they're in limbo, he's telling her it's not real. What you're living isn't real. When they're in reality, she's telling him that it's a dream and that it's fake.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that's half of what makes this movie so compelling, is just the idea that reality isn't reality if you're not sharing it with the people you love. Mm-hmm. And another interpretation for the movie is that this is an Inception being performed on Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, at the very end.
Mm-hmm. And the idea is that, they're trying to get him to let go of the past, right?
Yeah.
And they all do it together to help him, to bring him back to reality. And so I found all of that to be really, really compelling. Mm-hmm. Especially the way it ties into this idea of the pleasure machine. I can't imagine that wasn't in some way an inspiration for Nolan in making the movie. But
yeah, I didn't read too much on trivia for the movie or anything.
I didn't either.
Or anything at all.
I wish I had.
I kind of wish I did too. But you know me, I try to stay away from reading
anything
at all. I don't want to read people's other people's opinions on the movie.
I know.
Until after I've aired my own out.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot from a lot of people.
What?
That they don't like to read other people's opinions before they go in and
I just don't want anything.
I understand. I don't think it's wrong.
No Inception going on in my head.
That would be a disaster.
That would be terrible.
It would be horrible. Man.
It would be awful. Have Leonardo DiCaprio in my head.
I would love to have Leonardo DiCaprio in my head. But that's the pleasure machine.
I like that. That was a good little
philosophical tidbit for you guys.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that.
This is called Philosophy 101. I'll tell you that much. What other notes did I have?
Yeah, tell me.
Just that I think the story between Cobb and Mal is really compelling. I thought Mal was very effective. The actress, I think, just does a great job. Mm-hmm.
The problem with her, for me, is that I know her as Talia al Ghul in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, I guess she is in that.
Yeah.
I feel that character is completely unmemorable for me in Dark Knight Rises.
I mean, she is, but knowing that that's the only thing I know that actress from.
Uh-huh.
So then to be reintroduced to her in this, I was just thinking about
interesting.
Bad Batman.
Bad Batman. That's interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember she was in that movie.
Half the cast is from the Batman trilogy.
It is a Nolan movie, so... But yeah, I thought it was smart that Fisher tried to kill himself when he realized he was in a dream, and Cobb has to talk him down. I thought that was a good little tidbit. Because,
yes,
if he knows that killing yourself takes you out of the dream, then, yeah, just kill yourself, And I thought it was nice that Nolan remembered to do that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So there is some sort of people do this.
Well, I think the rich and powerful, like you said, I guess. Yeah.
See, I really like that idea. And I would like something fleshed out about that whole networking. Almost like not the game, but like a cyberpunk Blade Runner-esque thing.
Yeah, some mega corporations that are in control of.
That would be really interesting and fascinating to me.
I feel you. I think that would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
More stuff like that, more little manipulations of people's subconsciousness. Mm-hmm. Not so much the big train going through the city, which I think is like a cool thing because that just shows that Cobb's subconsciousness is interfering with everything that they're trying to do. It's weird to say this because I was kind of complaining about the exposition, but I wish the movie was more the suit and tie type of heist, where it's more subtle even, and less of Pierce Brosnan era Bond movie.
And I do agree with that. Like, if it could have devolved more slowly into what it was, because I think it does need some sort of action insanity because it's going to portray the dream falling apart. Like, I think that is necessary, but I agree. I wish that we'd seen more of Leonardo DiCaprio's Bond, like in the beginning, when he's like making so sure to be quiet that he's straight catching the casings as he's shooting. Like, that's dope, you know? Like, I wanted more of that.
His knees are not there. He's a ghost.
He's sliding around like he's riding from like Metal Gear.
It's awesome.
No, I agree. I would have loved to see more of that, like the first level, but I get why, because it's like, oh, they didn't expect the security to be this tight.
I do like the idea that like you can train your subconsciousness to fight off invaders.
I know, I think that's hilarious.
And in Cillian Murphy's head, they're like Black Op agents
that can't hit anything
with snowmobile jeeps.
Yeet. I know, it's ridiculous. I think definitely my least favorite world is the last one.
The last one, yeah.
Like, I get it that it's a fortress, and so that's where things are hidden. Right? Like, I get that, but I would much rather have seen, like, a prison break. Or
something.
Anything not that. Because that is the least favorite part of that's my least favorite part of the movie.
What if there's, like, a giant labyrinth-like puzzle that they had to figure out?
What if there's a Minotaur? No, I agree. Just something like...
what if they took the logo of the Syncope or...
Syncope, yeah.
Syncope, and they, like, figure it out.
What if they took Christopher Nolan's house? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think about... Like, what's a place where you hide things? There's, like, a jail. There's a bank, a treasure trove and trotta. A treasure chest. They could be inside the keyhole the entire time. I don't know.
Be in his head. You have to break open his head.
Gotta break that cranium. Something. I agree. I didn't love the fortress. It's probably my least favorite.
But I do love the behind the vault, and Cillian like sees his dad.
It's fantastic.
Which, you know, I did lie. I read this thing.
I lied.
Cillian Murphy is playing the dad in that scene too.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Or he's either the dad there or he's the picture, but I'm pretty sure he's playing a body like a double.
Interesting. That's crazy with just prosthetics and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
Yes.
I love their lines together.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Granted, it's all a lie, but just like you. No. I think that is one sad thing about this movie is like, you're like, oh, you feel this catharsis on behalf of Cillian Murphy, but like, it's not real. Like, his dad was actually just a total jerk.
Yeah.
But like, it's nice for him to like pretty much have this vision where he understands that like, no, I need to be my own man, and you know, disappointed that you tried to be like me.
I feel really sad for him, actually.
Yeah. He's going to lose his empire. But he's going to be a good guy, so Cillian's cool. Yeah. He's got his, you know, subconscious militia going. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He'll be good. No, I agree. And then the rest, I just have lines that I like.
We got a couple one-liners.
Yeah, we do. Give them to me.
Paradox.
I hated that.
That's
my least favorite word in the movie. I hate it. You're like, paradox. Who are you talking to, Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Who told him to say that? Like, there are obviously things I dislike about the movie. I don't like that. I don't love that it's a fortress at the end. There's one thing that I thought was wild. And as a whole, I think the movie's really good. But there are parts that are like, eh. Like when Ariadne is just like, I'm just going to connect to Leo's dream. Like, what a weird invasion of privacy. To just like invite yourself into someone else's dream.
Something about Ariadne. And Cobb. The fact that the only qualifications that he had for her was to draw a maze on a piece of paper And he's like, nah, it's not good enough. Yeah, that's more like it. She just drew a circle instead. Like he couldn't figure that out.
Circles are too hard. No, I agree. I think it's very funny. Yeah, architects in general are pretty wild to me.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool.
There's some pretty simple mazes from an architect student.
I know. Also, not very many mazes in this world.
None at all.
I never felt like, oh, it's a maze. I felt like that is like a pretty logical building. But it's hard. Like, how do you portray that it's a maze? Like, so I get why it wasn't focused on, because, like, how could they?
It would be really hard to...
It would be frustrating, right? Just like following the characters around because they can't find their way around the dream. Like, and I guess the subconscious can't find them, but the subconscious always can find them really easily, it seems. So
as soon as they do anything suspicious, they hone in on them.
And apparently being suspicious is walking, existing.
Yeah.
But it's not much more suspicious than shooting people. No, I agree. There are a couple things with the world that don't make sense. Like, for me, I didn't really understand why at the end they go into Leo's subconscious. And if she's going into his limbo, then why is Cillian Murphy in limbo? Because they were sharing a dream earlier? So if you share a dream in the beginning, are you always sharing the same dream of that person? But if they're still sharing his dream, then why are they in Leo's limbo?
So I think if you die in one of the levels, if you just go deeper, you're still alive.
Kind of.
Because that's how he finds Saito and Cillian Murphy's character.
I guess you just go to limbo.
Is that limbo, or is that just another dream?
That's limbo. Limbo's what happens when you go down 3 levels. Or 4 levels. What, past 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they could just keep going down as many levels as possible.
I think limbo is like the last level.
Oh.
Yeah. And if that's the case, then why wouldn't you just kill yourself in limbo? I guess they just don't know what happens, so they don't want to do it because they could die.
And she killed Mal in limbo.
Yeah, but she's a projection.
Yeah.
So she wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
Mal did definitely stab Cobb in the chest, though. And he was pretty fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're in a dream, though, couldn't you just, like, dream up some sutures and, like...
Yeah, because Tom Hardy can dream up a grenade launcher.
My dad...
and make some stupid joke about having a bigger gun.
I disliked that. My dad was dissatisfied with the things they dreamed up. My dad was like, why don't you dream up, like, a jet? Or, like, dream up something actually useful.
Dream up, like, protection over the window so you don't have to shoot anything at all.
Just dream up a big box.
They're not very creative for being, like...
hyper creatives.
Like, mind heist thieves.
No, I agree. And it's kind of the same problem that you have with Tenet. Or, you know, some of these movies where it's like... Or even Interstellar, or like Batman, where it's like... You know, there are easier solutions to these problems. There are
ways about going.
You don't need to do this, you know? Like, in Tenet, like, they could have, like, tried so many things with, like, the time travel that they just never bother with, you know? And same thing with, like, Batman has, like, such a huge arsenal. Like, dude, you could do anything. Like, why are you fighting Bane? Like, I don't know. Just blow the dude up. Yeah. But anyways, I agree.
So, before we head into fast ones, or closing thoughts, good friend of the show, Michael Reyes.
Oh. Michael.
Had something to say. And it's something that I disagree with. You might agree.
What is it?
You might agree with me.
I'm so scared.
It's nothing crazy. He thinks Inception is a better Tenet, while I think Tenet is a better Inception.
Inception is probably a better Tenet.
Really?
The thing is, they're so different. Like, even though I keep comparing them, right? Like, they are similar in that I can't move. They're similar.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have that spy feel. I think Inception's a better spy movie than Tenet. Which is ironic. Oh, are they that similar? They're similar because they're Nolan films.
Yeah, and
I'm not even sure they're similar enough.
They're both. He says, like, inspired by Bond films and stuff, and they both feel like heist movies in a way.
I mean, I agree with him in the idea that I think Inception's a better movie than Tenet. I don't know if it's more stylish. I think Tenet's more stylish. It's just such a sexy movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's just something about Tenet that's just so sleek, you know? It has that aspect of Bond. But I think that emotionally and narratively in the world just hits so much better in Inception for me. Much more well constructed, in my opinion.
You know what? I agree with that. Because when I think about it's very different because the connection with Mal and Cobb is so much deeper than what the protagonist and the girl, like, for me, like, the main relationship in Tenet is between Robert Pattinson and David Washington.
And most of that happens through conjecture on, like, a forum.
Yeah.
You know?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that might resonate with me more so than Inception.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe Inception is a better Tenet.
I understand though, and like I am sorry for my visceral negative reactions at the beginning. I was too mean. When you like go into something and you're prepared for a response you don't agree with,
mm-hmm. and
so you like have armor against it,
mm-hmm.
and you're already like ready to fight.
Jaded, yeah.
That was me coming in because I knew you were gonna hate the movie. So I was like. I was ready. I was like a dog with his food about to be taken away from him. So, like, and this movie is flawed. I think it's a great movie, though, and I know we disagree on that, and that's okay. But
disagree is a funny word. I mean,
we've agreed on a lot of things.
I think it's a good movie. It's a fine movie.
I think it's great.
It's not my favorite. It doesn't, resonate with me as much as other Nolan films. That could, I don't know what that means. Maybe I just watched it on the wrong day.
And it might resonate with me a lot more because these are things I've thought about.
Mm.
Like, I've spent a lot of time, it sounds weird, but like thinking about like reality. What makes reality reality? And
I never think about that.
And, we talked about like the pleasure machine for a month in my philosophy class.
Yeah, pleasure. It's out the window.
Screw pleasure. But
dreams were those.
I hate dreams. But this is all just stuff that I've thought about a lot, and so it resonates with me.
Yeah.
On that level, because it's themes in my life.
Sorry.
I'm all about pleasure.
Pleasure and dreams, baby. Sorry, for our next Futon Fridays, I have a very funny question about dreams.
I'm terrified. Dreams, the video game on PS4. I'm just kidding.
That's a joke. It's not a dream. It's a nightmare.
They made Forza 5 in dreams.
I'm sure they did.
Essentially. Apparently they can make anything but a good game.
Sorry. But no, I think this was a productive conversation. It got to a productive point.
I agree.
Where I think we've come to the middle, because you weren't saying anything negative about the movie. You were saying it's perfect.
I do still think it's one of Nolan's best movies.
Well,
but I think all of Nolan's movies have issues because they're Nolan movies.
Sure.
They're just too big and ridiculous.
Yeah. And
so like everything I say like is with a grain of salt.
There's usually like plot holes at some point or things that just aren't explained.
Mm-hmm.
Or why is it having 3 different timelines going on at the same time?
Dunkirk.
Just like Dunkirk and this.
He likes 3s. I thought the time dilation was interesting in this.
That was interesting, yeah.
Which,
for sure.
Of course, is like Nolan's favorite thing in life is time dilation. I don't know what's going on in this guy's head.
He needs to move on from looking at an hourglass.
Come on, Nolan, get out of here. Stop looking at the clock. I did think that was kind of interesting, where they planned the entire heist in dreams to save time. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was
kind of cool.
There are a lot of cool things about this movie that I really like.
It's good details.
And then there's just some... It's like the perfect... This might be the perfect, like... Either, to me, this is... Unless every Nolan film from here on out is just perfect, this is either the worst Nolan movie to me, or it's the perfect middle ground of Nolan.
I could see that.
Where it's like, I don't like half of it, but I really like the other half of it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Man,
it's all like this.
I just want to cry whenever there's some scenes in this movie that honestly make me very emotional.
Really?
Yes.
I felt no emotion about this movie.
It's all the Maul and Cobb stuff, man. There are scenes where they're talking to each other, and it's just like, for me, just heartbreaking. Like, I just really get it. I feel like it really speaks to me.
No, like, the age stuff always gets me.
I hate old people.
Kill them.
Get them out of here. I don't like their wrinkles. I'm gonna fall
Take
into
every
them.
old person to a rail yard and make them get run over.
Gonna tenet them. Interesting. A lot of trains.
Yeah, there
are a lot of trains in this movie.
Nolan, he's obsessed with trains.
He does love trains. I don't know what his deal is.
I hope he makes a new movie about trains.
Called Trains. It's like Cars, but the trains are alive.
Called Training Day.
That's beautiful. Off the rails.
Off the rails. Yes.
It's about a train that starts a romantic relationship with an actual human woman.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I'd love to see that. But the train ages slower because it's a Christopher Nolan movie.
A part of me thinks that this movie was made while Nolan was on, like, coke or something.
No.
Just a little part.
Coke.
A little piece of me thinks that he was on coke during this movie.
He was experiencing time dilation. He was going faster than everyone else because he was on speed. Wow.
Do you think he was writing the script in like a jet, just going around the world over and over?
He was in a black hole, actually, so he had more time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's been writing this since he was 15, I guess.
Yes, he was. Ever since he saw that Tenet bicycle.
Still the funniest.
I know.
I swear, he owned a Tenet bike, and that's where he got the idea from.
And like, he had to know. There's no way he made this logo that looks exactly like their logo, and that was surprised when they DMCA'd him.
Yeah.
Oh, Christopher.
Oh, Christopher, you're not that clever.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
Oh my gosh. But it's very good.
Yeah. It's a good movie. You guys should watch it and come up with your own opinions.
Yes.
You guys should actually turn off the podcast and don't listen to us anymore.
Just ignore us. Just go watch a Christopher Nolan movie. More entertaining than we could ever be.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yes. That was beautiful, Chris. Thank you for this invigorating and, satisfactory conversation that we had here.
Yeah.
Would you like some fast ones?
I'll give you mine first.
Ooh.
Because I only have two.
Give them to me, baby.
So, we talked about the totems.
Totem.
What would be your totem?
Look at you stealing my fast ones.
It's the first one that came to my mind.
What would my totem be? My first thought is something really inconvenient, which would be like a hat. Because like...
What would it do? Like, if it doesn't snap right?
Yeah, like, is it the right weight or something? And then, like, people wouldn't know because I'm always wearing the hat, even in, like, a suit or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, that wouldn't work. But probably, like Leonardo, I'd have my ring. I think that'd be my totem.
Is that his totem?
That's what a lot of people think, because he only ever wears it in the dream. It's never on his finger in reality.
That's interesting. I thought he had just taken Maul's as his own.
I don't think so. I think it's his ring.
Because I never noticed any rings whatsoever.
Some people don't pay a lot of
this
attention
movie.
to
Is this
movies.
movie Lord of the Rings? I don't think so. Was it looking at
Wasn't Peter
fingers?
Jackson in charge of this? Where's Elijah Wood? No, but yeah.
Speaking about Peter Jackson, this movie is the opposite of what he does.
There was dung heap of a man.
Honestly, what a failure. Garbage pile.
He did make 3 of the best movies ever made, but he also then like
worst.
pooped on them. like he lost all of my respect.
He went further than Lucas ever could.
Honestly, I like the prequels way more than I like the Hobbit sequels. Prequels.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Like, how did the prequels happen and then they were like, hey,
we could do better.
We should do that to Lord of the Rings. Like,
hey, you know that one book? We should make that 3 movies.
It always baffles me that decision was somehow made. Like, I know they made money.
Yeah. And
they made out like bandits. But, like, how did God let this happen?
I don't know.
Iluvatar. It's from the Silmarillion. Anyways.
What were we talking about? Oh, the totems.
The totems.
Yours would be a hat. Or the ring.
I think mine would be my wedding ring.
What would it do? Like,
I would feel the weight.
Oh.
Like I'd know the weight is right.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just, wear it on a different finger in the dream or something like that.
That's interesting. Want to hand me one of those amiibos?
Yours would not be an amiibo.
Yeah.
Which one?
Pichu.
No.
Okay, I'll
get KK, the best boy. I love KK. Chris hates him.
We're not in a dream.
Why would you do that to KK?
Well, see, if it was a dream, that would never, ever happen to KK.
KK would not fall over in a dream.
I don't like Animal Crossing.
You don't like Animal Crossing?
It's fine.
I like KK.
I liked it when I was
his
like
music.
8 and incorrigible and only had Animal Crossing on the GameCube.
He's about to fall.
Don't let that happen.
I've never played Animal Crossing. I've only watched my wife play it for hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
She devours it. And it never gets soured.
I like that. I really don't know what my totem would be, though, to be honest with you.
It's hard to find one that's subtle. Like, what was... Do you know what Joseph Gordon-Levitt's was?
It was a die.
Oh, yeah, it was a loaded die.
It was a loaded die.
That's a pretty good one.
And Elliot Page's was a chess piece.
Yes.
That she couldn't...
That only knocks over one way?
I don't know. I thought she couldn't knock it over in the dream.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. They never, like, showed more of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They just explained it and never, like... You only
I guess
saw
it doesn't
Tom's.
matter.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. But it would be nice to see, like, the other people questioning reality, not just Cobb.
Yeah, it is interesting that no one else has a problem with it. But I guess no one else went as deep as he did.
I don't know.
Like, everyone else is like, you can't go 3 layers deep. And he's like,
Ariande got stabbed, or whatever her name is.
That is true. I don't know.
Well, maybe it would be like a guitar pick or something.
Oh, that would make sense.
Or
would it just like be more floppy in real life?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Mine would be my $500 wallet. No, I have no idea. It might be like my headphones case.
Oh, yes.
Snaps nicely in real life.
My pop socket.
Yeah, you need your pop socket.
You hear that texture, guys?
Nice pop socket sound there.
I was recording audio for 25 minutes on my phone.
Nice.
But yeah. I got one more fast one for you.
Dime, tell me.
If you could have any director in history direct this movie besides Nolan, like Nolan can't do it, but it's still the same movie, who would you have directed it?
You hate the exposition in this. Just bring Spielberg on board.
Ugh.
He would
he'd
give you a packet of information at the beginning.
That sounds terrible. Yeah, he'll give me a crawl. It's like Star Wars.
Yeah. Who would I? Stop. You stop that.
Let me give you mine.
Yeah, give me yours first.
I think Stanley Kubrick would be awesome.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
But I feel like you could say that for like any movie.
No, I don't think you can.
I feel like Stanley Kubrick is perfect for anything like this. That's like mysterious and like.
Okay, so Stanley,
you know what I mean?
You can't pick Stanley Kubrick then.
I feel like
Okay.
Bad Boy. My ad. No, Stanley Kubrick's a great answer though. That's a great answer. Sorry, I didn't mean to just like say no.
I guess it was too easy.
You can keep your answer. That was a wonderful answer. I have a wild card here. Ryan Johnson, I think might do an okayish job. I like Knives Out. Nothing like this, but he might be able to do a little bit more subtle. It's good. It's fun.
Everyone says it's like the best movie ever.
Is it no. It's fun. It's a whodunit.
Yeah, it's just Clue, right?
It's like Clue. It's good. It's fun. And I personally didn't hate The Last Jedi. I thought he did an okay job with it.
I'm
trying to think of what else he has directed. But I don't know. Who do you think of besides Stanley?
I don't know.
I honestly can't think of very many directors right now because the only director I've thought about for like the last 6 months is Nolan. So it's like the only person I'm watching movies from.
This is true.
I think that's a great question though. Like, who else would direct it?
It's hard because, like, I think Stanley Kubrick is the perfect answer, because when I think about any of the other directors that I like, they wouldn't do this justice.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's not their type of film.
Yeah, like with Rian Johnson, this is not the movie he would ever make.
Like, I can think of Bryan Cranston being a director, you know, or Jonah Hill is a director now, or Scorsese. They would not do this movie justice.
What about Michael Bay?
Michael Bay? He could do half the movie, right?
He could. Where are the Transformers? I agree.
There was a lot of explosions in that third world.
Yeah, there were. That's why it was the worst.
I didn't know grenades were made out of fire.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah. I love how Tom Hardy does not care that Saito's dead.
Nope.
He was like,
sorry, Saito. Bye-bye. It's interesting. Very interesting.
But yeah, that's all my fast ones.
Those were good fast ones, man.
The 1-2 punch from Chris.
The 1-2 punch was really quick and effective. I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
Sorry, my thing's being pulled by my leg here. So I'm probably making horrible audio for you guys, and I'm very sorry.
It's okay. It's only like our 100th episode.
It's fine. If you guys are still here, you don't care.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. I don't know what you're going to say to this. Is there a more dapper man than DiCaprio?
Dapper.
He's just a dapper Dan man.
I think Robert Pattinson. He's pretty dapper.
He's a contender for dapper. I can tell you that much.
John Hamm is pretty dapper.
I don't even know who John Hamm is.
Mad Men.
Never seen Mad Men. I don't have that kind of time in my life.
All right.
But I believe you.
Dapper? Like, I never thought Leonardo DiCaprio was very dapper.
Really? You don't think he's dapper?
It's kind of like a runt.
I feel like you don't like DiCaprio.
He's not my favorite.
Really?
I love him in Catch Me If You Can.
Which I think he's, like, fine in. That's so interesting. Because we've talked about that.
I think I like just the premise of Catch Me If You Can more so than, like, anything else he's been in. So he
Tom
shines
Hanks is in
more.
there, right?
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Walken.
He's in everything. But yeah.
I'm trying to think of, like, good DiCaprio movies that I really like.
Shutter Island, which came out the same year as this movie.
They're very similar in tone.
They kind of are. Yeah, it's all about questioning reality too, kind of. Well, you actually see what is real.
You know, that was okay.
I like him in that. I just like him. There's something likable about him. I like him in this movie a lot.
He was good in Django.
He's great in Django. Wiping blood on everybody.
Yeah. I think he is a good actor, but he's not my go-to when I think of favorite actors.
Yeah.
Dapper. Yeah, he's got room to grow.
You hear that, DiCaprio?
I hope he's shuddering in his little shoes right now.
Oh gosh, he's so scared.
Dapper slippers.
He's throwing everything away. All of his
What makes you think
things.
he's dapper?
He just came off as dapper to me.
He comes off as like boyish.
I think he is youthful.
Yeah.
He has a youthful face.
I
don't think dapper is a huge I don't think it's hard to be dapper and youthful though. If anything, I feel like they're almost together.
I don't know, something about him that I don't take very seriously.
Is it the Titanic part of him? I don't know.
It might be that. No, I think it's the Catch Me If You Can, because that's.
He reminds me of Justin Bieber in Catch Me If You Can. I don't know why.
That's odd.
I just feel that way.
He might be the Justin Bieber of that time in that movie.
Like, if he was just played by Justin Bieber in Catch Me If You Can, I would not notice a difference.
I don't know what that means, but
sure. That's just how I feel. Amy Adams is in that too, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, she's in it.
Oh my god. Tears are streaming down my face. Wow.
But he's just a boy to me because he plays a boy in that movie.
I understand that.
So yeah, I don't know if I can take him seriously in this role. But maybe But maybe he's the only person who can play this role. Maybe he's the only one who could be named Dom Cobb and can kind of get away with it.
Dom Toretto. I think he does a great job. I'm sure someone else could play him. Like, this isn't the kind of role where I'm like, this could only be this actor, you know?
Yeah, it's not like...
But I think he does a good job, but I think it's like Bond in that way. Or like, a ton of people can play Bond.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's a good way of playing it, because he does play like a Bond, you know, like allegory or whatever. He symbolizes like a Bond character, almost.
Yeah, he's supposed to just be like a man. Like a
man.
person, a man. And I think he just does a really good job of conveying the emotion. I think he just does a good job acting. But I feel you. Maybe he's not the most dapper man. I just really like DiCaprio, especially in this role. Partially because he's kind of new to me. You know? Like, I saw Catch You If You Can. I saw Titanic. But this is the first role I saw him in where I felt like he actually acted well. As like an adult man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just found his performance to be compelling.
He might be too charming for me to take seriously.
Oh, I can see that.
He's a pretty charming guy.
He's a really charming guy. Just the way he talks.
Yeah.
And the way he moves. I always think he's fatter than he is. Do you get that vibe?
No.
Like, I always think he's a chubby guy, but then you see him, and he's not chubby.
You know what? You might be right, actually.
Right? Like, his face is very round. And you see him, and you're like, he's a chubby boy. But then he gets up and he's like this skinny guy.
Yeah, it's an odd...
Isn't that weird?
Odd pickle you found yourself in there.
Yeah. I thought you called him a pig. It's not big right there. Weird though, huh?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my gosh. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Wow. Well, let's move on from poor DiCaprio and stop calling him a pig.
DiCaprio.
Squealio DiCaprio. He's gonna be so sad when he watches this episode.
Yeah, that's fine.
Take a leap of faith or become an old man filled with regret, waiting to die alone.
Take a leap of faith.
That's right. Go to limbo. Watch Inception or watch Interstellar. Which you're gonna say Interstellar? I'm gonna change it. Watch Inception or watch Tenet.
I'll watch wait, you say Interstellar or Inception?
Inception or Tenet.
I'll watch Inception again. To try.
I'm proud of you.
To have a better outlook on it.
In a Futon Friday, in like a week,
I'll let you know.
Rewatch it again, and we'll talk about it again a little bit.
Sorry, I feel like I haven't looked at you guys this whole time.
I never break eye contact with them. To dream or not to dream?
No dreams.
I honestly agree. I do not like dreaming.
Dreaming
It's never a good experience.
You guys will find out Futon Friday this week. There's some terrible dreams going on.
So I don't want to spoil anything, but we've had some bad dreams. Almost never am I happy I dreamt.
No. Aspen was telling me like a dream that she has that is kind of recurring where it's like a dream like the feeling of floating or flying. That sounds like a happy dream.
Sounds like it.
It sounds like it. I've never had those type of dreams. I've had dreams of me flying, getting scared, and then falling and dying.
You know that jerk you feel when you're about to fall?
Yeah.
That's called a hypnagogic jerk. It's a part of parasomnia.
No, it's called the kick.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, Christopher Nolan. But yes.
Dreaming is... It's never happy for me. It's always either...
It's your subconscious is fighting you,
if it's not like stress related or anxiety related, it's always bittersweet. Mm-hmm. I'm usually seeing people who have passed away or people I haven't seen in like a decade or more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dreaming is not the greatest.
I agree. I do not have a good time with it.
I'm trying to think of the last good dream I ever had.
I know. Like, when was the last time I had a good dream? I honestly cannot remember.
Yeah.
Not to dream, guys.
Don't dream.
Do not do it.
Stop dreaming.
Dream on or Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
That is the worst question you could have ever asked me. Dream on. I mean, dream on.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
I walk a lonely road.
I had to separate Aerosmith from the song.
But you love Aerosmith and you love Steven Tyler. We're going to do Are you excited for the song?
Sure.
It's going to be fantastic. You have to learn a Steven Tyler song on your guitar.
Yeah.
You're going to hate yourself.
I am.
All right. I think we only have a couple more here. What would our jobs be in the Inception Squad, otherwise known as the Treasure Troving Trotters?
I think for this, it needs to be Treasure Troving Trippers.
Hey, I like that.
Day tripper. What would our jobs be?
There's
like
an
the architect,
a forger, an extractor. The extractor is the person who's like a Leo. Well, even though he used to be an architect, but like trying to really.
I'll be the driver, even though I don't drive.
Oh yeah,
but I can drive in my dreams.
Oh really?
Sure.
That's so ironic because I cannot drive in my dreams.
No, I actually can't.
Okay, no.
I actually make the worst decisions when I'm driving in a dream.
I say most of my dreams I remember have to do with driving. Spoiler alert for Futon Friday. I'll try not to talk about them.
No, that's not a spoiler. You're good.
I always dream I crash the car and can't control it, but it's really slow.
Yeah, it's always really slow.
Like, it's not like I get in a head-on collision on the freeway. It's like I'm in your driveway. And I slowly... And it's always
like... It's not like a real car accident. It's like the other car is now in your car.
Something's really small, but really loud.
It's a car within a car within a car.
No. In Carson.
Carception.
That makes much more sense.
Gosh. You failure.
Inception and Carception.
Yeah.
Carception.
What was your original question? Oh, our jobs.
Oh, yeah. What would our jobs be?
I would probably have the most boring job.
I feel like you'd be a good forger. You have a good
That's
imagination.
the most boring job.
That's not boring. I think that's cool. You can impersonate people in dreams.
That part bothered me, actually.
Really?
Well, like, the idea is good. Is he the only one who can do that?
I think so. I think that's like his skill.
Okay. I thought like anyone could do this. And I'm like, why isn't everyone doing this right now?
I wish they were all just Cillian Murphy.
That would put something in his head.
That would have him telling himself constantly. No, I agree. But yeah, I think you'd be a forger. I think you'd be good at that.
Would you be
What's like the least work? I'd be Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the guy who was supposed to like research the other person and stalk them so you understand them.
And then do a bad job at it.
And then do a bad job. That's already what I do in real life, so I think I'd do that. I like the research,
Yeah.
So neither of us would be the interesting person who does the fun stuff.
No.
I would get to fight in a hole.
I can take a piece of paper and draw a maze for you. I can be the architect.
Oh, we should actually do that. It's a fast one. I need you to draw a maze. You have 1 minute to draw me a maze that takes 2 minutes for me to finish.
I thought she had 2 minutes to draw a maze that he could do in 1 minute.
Opposite.
Oh, okay.
Much harder.
That makes more sense.
All right, Chris. I'm going to actually have you do this. But wait, I want to finish all the fast ones. We'll end with that. Okay. All right. I think I only have like 2 more. Which story carries more emotional weight? Cobb and Maul or Murph and Cooper?
Murph and Cooper.
I disagree.
Oh, interesting.
But I understand. I think Murph and Cooper have a great story. Especially when you think about it like in generational terms. I was listening to Knockback the other day, and I listened to their Interstellar episode because I'm slowly working my way from the beginning all the way to where they are now. And they had really interesting things to say about love and like caring for family and like whether love is more true. I don't think they actually said this, but I thought about it when they were talking. But whether a love is more true if it transcends your current family and extends to your future family. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like when we were watching it, Interstellar, welcome to the Interstellar portion of this Inception podcast. But Grace felt like McConaughey was a really bad dad because he abandoned his family to go to go do this. And like I feel like that's a valid point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wonder to myself whether it's more loving to care for the next generation, or if it's more loving to care for the generation that's already here. You know what I mean? It's just a really interesting look at love, and to see how love works through time and which love is greater, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was thinking about that. Has nothing to do with the question I asked, but
that's cool.
Generations.
I like that thought.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's true.
I think it's all depends on the circumstances, because it's like if you love the generation you're with now, everyone's going to die. But if you sacrifice the time with them now for later, everyone's okay.
Exactly.
The leap of faith.
That's right.
Nolan.
We can be young men again together. It's interesting. I like Cobbenwall, but for some reason, I think it was just the acting, really. I thought that the two actors just had really good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And Murph was Murph, so that hurt her contention for the title of Most Emotional. Tell me, is this a good Bond film?
Yes.
Or rather, do you want to see Nolan direct a Bond movie? Is really what I'm asking.
Oh.
Because I think this is a good spy film. But, like, is that the next person you want to see direct Bond? And, like, why are they not doing that?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's like a shoe-in, right?
Yeah, if it, like, make a movie as sexy as Tenet without the time travel, you got yourself a Bond film.
Exactly. And just have some really dapper...
Just mix that audio right.
Right, just make it so we can hear him. All that stuff, really nice. Have him catch the bullet casings as he shoots people, because that's cool. Burn your hand a little, that's fine.
Now, I think I've asked you this before, but it's funny because Inception just has the largest cast of characters for Nolan.
Oh, I guess that's true. It's a really big cast, huh?
Who do you want to see in his next movie? Like, who do you want him to, like, reach out to and be like, hey, I want you in my movie? And it doesn't have to be, like, the low-ranking indie actors that are just coming up. You can pick anybody you want.
I mean, it's selfish, but I want to see more DiCaprio.
More DiCaprio.
I think DiCaprio works really well with Nolan. I loved the performance that Nolan got out of DiCaprio. So that's who I want to see. I didn't really love anyone else. I thought Maul was great, but...
Yeah.
You know, but she was great because of DiCaprio, I think. Because of the way they worked together.
Yeah.
And I thought DiCaprio was great throughout the entire film.
Huh.
Who do you want? Because I didn't love anyone else. I thought everyone else was fine.
You know, I love seeing Cillian Murphy.
I love Cillian Murphy.
Like, more Cillian Murphy, please.
That's true. Cillian Murphy would probably actually be my answer.
Yeah. You already got Robert Pattinson.
And you haven't even seen A Quiet Place Part 2 yet.
I have not.
So good.
Never
Cillian Murphy is what makes it good. I don't know if that's true. I just really like him in it.
Yeah. I mean, he's always great. He steals the show in everything that he's in. You know, was it Timothée Chalamet?
Timothée Chalamet.
I think he would be cool as a younger actor.
Little Pinocchio over here.
Oh. Am I supposed to get that?
He's got a little nose. A little freaky nose.
He's got a little... Okay.
It's going to be big.
It's going to be big. What are you on?
I want to go Timothée Chalamet. I might not be thinking of the right person. Have you seen him with his nose plugs in Doom?
Yeah. Dune, yeah.
I'm excited to see Dune. Oh, yeah. Look at that pointy little pigeon nose.
Yeah. It's great.
Look at it, man. It just peaks. It's like so pointy. It's like a drawing.
It's perfect.
It's a very pointy nose. Good little kid. He's probably younger than us.
He is, I think.
These people.
You know, Elijah Wood would be interesting.
I don't think he'll ever act again.
No, he's definitely like a director, and he
the woodshed.
a writer, and he does his own stuff.
I want Viggo Mortensen or Mads Mikkelsen,
baby,
the Danish boys. I don't think Viggo Mortensen has acted since Hidalgo.
Was The Road before or after Hidalgo?
Ooh, Hidalgo. The Road only came out in 2006.
He's done other stuff. I've seen him in other
Really?
things. Yeah.
I've only ever seen... The last movie I saw was Hidalgo.
He's never, like, been the main actor, though. He's always, like, a supporting role.
Never the bride, always the bridesmaid.
That's right.
Except for the 3 Academy or like Oscar-winning films he's famous for.
Yeah, having Mads or Viggo would be amazing. John Hamm is another person that I just really like.
I can't look up this John Hamm man that you speak of.
Look up John Hamm. He was in Baby Driver. I've never seen that movie.
How do you spell Hamm?
Hamm.
Not with a B.
Nope.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Interesting. He looks like Kronk.
Yeah.
He's in Shrek. He's probably good then.
Yeah, he's good to go.
He's a good actor. I want to see Mike Myers.
I want to see Mike Myers do anything.
That's true. What is he even doing?
He just needs to roll out of bed or something.
I swear, dude. I'm sure he's just sitting in his
He's just
swamp,
up in British Columbia.
chilling like a villain.
Enjoying the Canadian ham. Yeah, I think those picks would be perfect.
I like that. All 10 of them.
Yeah.
Us. I think
it'll just be
I should
Inception
be in the next
too.
Nolan movie.
Oh, okay.
Call me.
We share the first name.
That's right. You could just be the next Christopher Nolan and put me in your movie.
We'll make a movie about Christopher Nolan and I'll play Christopher.
I love that. It'll be like that one movie.
The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, exactly.
This will be the confusing artist.
We'll just pretend that we're him filming all his movies.
The man obsessed with time.
That's right. There's clocks in every scene. That's beautiful.
Christopher Nolan should work with like Hideo Kojima on something.
Could you imagine a game that's Christopher Nolan and Hideo?
Jonathan Nolan did Black Ops 2's campaign.
Dang. Also obsessed with time, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
What is wrong with these guys?
I don't know.
Can they like stop?
No. You can't stop them.
Just
they're out of time.
Oh, they need to calm down. I feel
what was the tagline for this movie?
It's all about dreams.
It's something like that. I forget.
Your dream is my reality. Dream on.
I like it's all about the dream. That's a good tagline.
It's all
very
about
inspirational.
The dream. What's the
like
tagline for The
movie.
Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith? It's probably that same tagline.
This will be your last good movie.
Hello, Independence Day Part 2 and Bad Boys 3. Oh, Will.
And what's the one After Earth or whatever?
Oh, gosh, with Jaden. What a sad existence.
Where are you?
He's fine.
Your mind is the scene of the crime.
I don't like that. It's too much.
Oh, is there multiple? The dream is real.
I like that a lot more than your mind is the scene of the crime.
Dream big.
Hey, dream big with Tom Hanks. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
If you had to make another tagline for this movie, and it can't be any of those, what would it be?
Have you ever dreamed a dream?
Hey, just start quoting Martin Luther King. I dreamed a dream. Oh my gosh. Anyways, before we get like demonetized for mentioning.
Demonetized? We have to get monetized first.
That's very true. If you'd like to monetize us, oh yeah, Patreon.
Oh yeah, we should probably do it in the beginning of the episodes from now on.
We were just too consumed.
Yeah, that's true.
With our sponsor, Liquid Death, who's not actually our sponsor. But yeah, before we end, before Chris draws his... Actually, this is perfect. Chris, you draw your maze while I plug Patreon.
Perfect. Give me that pen.
All right. So guys, look at me. Don't look at Chris. He's not here anymore. It is a personal conversation. Man to whoever you people are. Our massive amount of viewers. Our mailboxes are full. Our doorsteps are covered in the fan mail and in the response from you guys, the positive response to the show. And there's one more way you can support us, and that is through Patreon. You can join our favorite man, John Medina, the first patron, who has been helping us out for about a month now. He's fantastic, and if you want, you can join him in helping us. Any $1 or whatever you decide to pledge to us goes into making this show better and making it happen more often and, giving us the resources we need to draw mazes like Chris is doing over here. But we're grateful for your support. We love you guys. Any amount is wonderful. Just go to patreon.com/Futon Talks and you can become a patron today. It's fantastic.
I'm not done with this maze.
Yeah, I think you may have taken a minute here. I'll give you a little bit more time.
Okay, thank you. Keep talking.
I'm talking.
Hearing your voice.
Aside from Patreon, let me tell you about some of the things we've got going on. Because of, again, popular demand, we've started another show called Futon Fridays. We talk about it's a casual gaming news show. We catch up on what's been going on in the week. We answer questions from you guys. By the way, if you have any questions about Inception that you'd like us to answer, if you have any questions you'd like us to answer about Dark Souls, might be the next game coming up, say it in the comments below. Send us a message to the comments or send us a message on Patreon. Also, if you become a patron, we're going to have your name at the end of the podcast. We'll give you shout outs just like we did for John. And I don't know, there might be some more benefits coming your way. We make these stickers all the time. They're fantastic. Here's a little sample guy. Futon Talks. That's the name of the thing that we're doing. And there's a million benefits. There's no way to go wrong by becoming a patron for us. So do it today.
Good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Figure that out.
I will. I have 2 minutes, right? You want to start
You
the
have a
timer?
minute.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I have a minute. Wait, no. I have to do it before 2 minutes.
Okay.
Because you had 1 minute. All right, am I ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is easy.
Yeah, you guys should go into the comment section and tell us what you think about Inception. And maybe give us your ranking of all the Nolan films.
Where's the end?
You'll figure it out.
I don't understand. I don't think there's an end to this. Is the end the middle?
Yeah.
Oh. Like the middle of the circle?
Yeah.
I did it.
Liar.
It's right there.
Let me see.
It's like...
Oh, no, not that.
Oh, you want me to get to that thing?
Yeah.
Like the inside of it or there?
In there.
In there?
Yeah.
Okay, I got this. Sorry.
What's the deal with Leonardo DiCaprio, guys? Is he too charming? Is he too dapper to take seriously?
I don't think it's possible.
Is he too short to take seriously?
I think you hate Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is his goatee drawn on in this movie?
I think it is, because he can't. Is that it?
Yeah, good job.
I'm amazing. I could be an architect.
That was 1 minute. Good job.
Get out of here.
That was very good.
But yeah, in closing, I do think it was drawn on.
It was very odd.
Because have you seen him in Revenant?
Yeah.
It is like the cotton candy floof that is not part of the actual cotton candy. That was his facial hair.
Yeah.
Write in and tell us.
Yeah. Facial hair should not be on Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's too boyish.
He's too much of a boy. He's too short. And he's not good enough for Amy Adams.
That is true. Oh. All right, we love you guys. We're grateful for you. And remember to comment below about Dark Souls if you have any questions for it. We'll answer them on the podcast.
Yeah, we will. We promise. We love you.
Love you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.